the amount of copium and like imagine in your heads. I think I just have to wake up. Sharding. I think I finally have to wake up. Sharding. It was just a signal to wake up. Shard dodging. Wake up. Like sharding. Wake up.
Egg has been planted.
How bad is the CitizenCon? I can be more renty probably. Now that I'm at my own channel and not being toxic on someone else's channel. I honestly think CitizenCon was much more realistic this year. Obviously because it was digital, it just felt like a one big huge inside Star Citizen. It was pre-recorded, obviously, majority of it. We had less Imagine than we had the previous CitizenCon, though we had a lot of Imagine. That mission on Pyro, it's complete Imagine. Guys, how much of the mission we've seen on the previous CitizenCon is in game? 0. It's the same thing. Until they prove it wrong, it's the same thing. It's yet another Imagine mission that is not in game and will not be in game soon, might not ever be in game, or be in game God know when. Just showing off new stuff, yes, but will that be actually our gameplay any feasible amount of time, in any meaningful amount of time? I don't know. What else? They sold us for 100i. I'm actually not excited about the ship at all. Like, a lot of people get excited and say it looks cool. I don't like it. I just don't like it visually. You mean I'm biased towards Origin? You guys all know that I don't really like Origin ships. Maybe that is the reason, so that it's my personal thing. But yet again, it's just another sale of another ship. We're still like going that road. I'm very excited about the annual ship, but actually the ship that I'm excited about is probably deep in the concept phase, and we will have it God know when. And it's super fucking pricey. I've talked about it on the watch party, and like Noodle kind of told me, why do you even think about the price? Because unfortunately, we got ourselves into the position throughout the years that not thinking about the prices, just ignoring the reality and the business model of this game. And especially when they sell you concept ships, you neither can fly nor can purchase in game. Its price is the only gameplay around that ship. So I kind of like the anvil brick. I'll call it anvil brick. But I'm sorry, I'm a pleb. Like, I cannot afford it. What else? They talked insanely long about the Banu Merchantman. It was just bad. I'm sorry. Maybe there is a specific audience that like that, but like taking an hour to talk about the Banu Merchantman, like, I'm sorry. With a few screenshots, it was ridiculously long. It's my own opinion. As always, I'm pointing out the negative. There is a lot of positives, but positive things are positive. It's good. That's all about it. I'm just probably being toxic streamer who points out what's wrong. The pyro looks amazing. Like, that mission demo looked amazing. The clouds looked amazing. I honestly enjoyed it. It looks great, but again, it looks great. What gameplay we have about it, right? We don't even have that to start with, right? We don't know when 4.0 will be, when the server meshing. Like, there are a few things more important I probably want to talk about. It's the Tony Z part. I'm still very afraid that Quanta will create gameplay in the game opposite of what I personally would like to see it. Again, that is a me problem. That is not... That's like... It's my preference. I was talking about this in Discord with few guys, with Kowalski, with Kilgore, and few others, quite for a long time yesterday after the stream. We just were sitting and chatting literally for hours.
Egg has been planted.
Yeah, like, all the Quanta stuff is quite a bit frustrating for me because of that's like a way towards creating more of a single player MMO than than actual player interaction sandbox MMO. But that's fine. The real hit for me, and the signal to wake up was the talk about the server meshing, right? I think I still hold true to what I said in Discord yesterday after all of that when we were chatting. I think I just have to wake up. I think I finally have to wake up and understand this game is never gonna be the game I want. It's gonna be, as always it was told to us, right? It's gonna be the game that Chris wants, not me, you, or you, right? So the talk about server meshing was exciting. It was just a signal to wake up. I was really excited. That was one of the things
Egg has been planted.
I was really looking for on the CitizenCon, right? To understand where we are at. The problem is we got no understanding where we are at, actually, as always. Like, no surprise, right?
Egg has been planted.
We got
Space S hole for the win.
a bit of insight from a bit different perspective on how server meshing works, and it was good to get an update of what they think the server meshing will be at the current
Egg has
state.
been planted.
Obviously, you all understand there is always a but for me, right? You know there is something, but there is a but, right? There's a big fat but. And that but is sharding. So, and I want to stress on one thing that is a me problem. We were never ever promised to have a single shard world, right? Let's be honest. I think we were never promised in the entirety of Star Citizen development, there was not a single point that actually told us that we will have a single shard world. It's just an imagined thing. It's just one of the imagined things I kind of hoped for that we will get to, and because of the years of development and the amount of copium and like imagine in your heads without actual gameplay, you start to dream of things that are not real, right? So actually there was never a promise, at least I couldn't find, that we will have a single shared world. Did they say they kind of want to theoretically achieve it? Yeah, they probably said it a few times. They probably said it a few times. Did they actually say that that is their goal? I don't think so. And that was a good call for me to wake up and rethink my approach to the game and what I think of it. To probably take a different approach on the game, or what do you expect it to be in future? Right? I've got too deep into my own imagine compared to reality. And we have to understand this. There is not a single game that does that on a big scale. There is not a single game. Why I was so naive and stupid to think CAG will do that? I don't know. There is not a single game that does it. The only game that does it is EVE Online. The problem with EVE Online is the amount of data that is passed from an EVE Online client, aka player, to server is nothing compared to Star Citizen. The amount of detail is nothing compared to Star Citizen. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You just point and click, and everything is calculated server side because there is so little to calculate. There is no real time like physics and all that. The only physics you get is bumping the ships without damage. You know what I mean? And on top of that, the moment the player count scales up in the environment, for example, a big battle, TD kicks in, which stands for time dilation, where literally everything slows down for servers to cope with what's going on. TD can get to insane scaling. Like, time can slow down 10 times. Time can slow down like 20 times. Like, people are waiting minutes, tens of minutes to make one shot. But that approach is possible in EVE Online because of the nature of the game and how it works. Obviously, a time dilation approach is not possible for Star Citizen because it's a first-person experience. You just cannot slow down a ship you are actively controlling. It's not gonna work. So, I don't really know why for such a long time I've been dreaming and hoping it will be a thing. I think this CitizenCon is a good wake-up call for me to just rethink my approach to the game, my attitude to the game, what I expect from it, and how I see myself in the game in the future. Like, maybe I should really casualize in terms of like, I don't like not giving a fuck about anything and just like play the game, you know, whatever. Like, sharding was a very big hit on my small brain, because we all knew that would be like a thing that might be a thing of a first iteration of server meshing, which is like static server meshing. I never expected it to be a thing like as the end goal, and now I expect it. I expect to not be able to control territories. I expect now in the final vision of the game, people using server dodging techniques just like they use right now. But then it's gonna be like the shard dodging to avoid you. People will be, I expect now people to use matchmaking they talked about. It's not necessarily an MMR matchmaking, but a server will take certain inputs and from the database to decide which shard you go. So I expect complete like abuse of those mechanics to dodge certain player interaction and encounters. Like, apparently that's gonna be a reality. Oh, they're camping the gate? Oh no, I'll just like do this, and go to another shard to just dodge that. Obviously, I expect with all of this dodging, people meting out the income, like we will go to the most rewarding territories with least threat by using like exploiting techniques of like shard dodging and all that. That means economy will be like not really meaningful once again. It will be like AI-driven economy, and no one will care in money if everyone can earn a lot of money. Nothing will matter, and then it all goes to my usual talk about like industry, production, player ownership, and how everything is not going to be meaningful. Yeah, so overall, I'm not saying Star Citizen is a bad game. I think it's a wonderful game. I think it was just a good wake-up call for me to rethink the future of this game, personally, and how I perceive it. And yeah, how seriously I take it. I cannot wait to further changes in the game and better gameplay. What can I say? Obviously, have seen very little of gameplay. But I like the cargo talk a lot. I really like the cargo talk. Tony Z talks like that evil person, that the biggest Tony Z is the biggest evil mastermind in Star Citizen. So I really like the cargo talk. I cannot wait for that to be in game. It was funny though, they talked about it, about the boardings and all that, taking the cargo like it's not in game. When they talked about getting the boxes from the exploded ship and getting like profit, I laughed my ass. Because what profit are we talking about? They don't even know that. Like, they're so disconnected from the reality, and that's the point. Because they're the high-tier developers. They don't really understand what's going on the servers. I really laughed my ass when they were talking about the profit from the drop boxes. That don't even drop right now. Again, by the way, they don't even spawn. Yeah. Overall, I think CitizenCon was okay. It wasn't like great, super good. I think it was okay. I liked it. I definitely ended up with a positive vibe, and one of the things that made it positive was more realistic approach. There was imagined stuff, there was a bit of some boring stuff, but I like the realistic approach, though it was a good, like a huge wake-up call for me. And I don't know if I missed something. Like, the main things were like server meshing. Gen 12 was obviously cool. It's just nothing to talk about too much because it's gonna be done. It's gonna be ready when it's ready, right? It's just the tech thing that they gotta do, and there is not much to discuss. When it's ready, it's gonna give us probably better performance, and that's good. That's all we have to talk about it. Like, we're not, at least I'm not like a hardware engineer to start like right now some speculation, and it would be silly, right? It's good. It's moving forward. We can see, like, they even hinted, there was one of like few minutes when they hinted that parts of it are constantly going in, like 315 is already getting a bits, like tiny bits of that into the client. But obviously the major thing will be when all the bits are in and they will swap to the Vulkan. That will be the major step. We are definitely not there yet. And after the switch completely to Vulkan, and Vulkan is the only renderer for Star Citizen, or is a main renderer for Star Citizen, they can afterwards start finally optimizing the multi-threading for CPUs, and that will remove the major bottleneck. That will remove the major bottleneck on the game, on the FPS. Because they cannot start proper multi-threading before the Vulkan is a main renderer of the game. But there is nothing to talk about too much about that, because it's just the tech. They'll do it when they'll do it, right? And that's it. So yeah, like, server meshing was a wake-up call. A very big wake-up call for me. Quanta once again proved everything. Like, that was no wake-up calls for me with the Quanta. I totally expect that to happen with the game. And I understand that. That's what I don't like. Like, I would wish Quanta was just a background economy that would, like, stabilize the market and prevent it from crashing, not drive it. But again, it is what it is. Yeah, a lot of things were great, interesting. CitizenCon wasn't fantastic, but it was realistic, and I liked it.